Well, let's start with the big story of the day, and this is coming in from West Asia, which is currently staring at another dangerous escalation. The United States has launched a third round of military strikes against Iran after accusing Iran of attacking a container ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Now, according to U.S. Central Command, that is CENTCOM, the vessel caught fire, it suffered damage, and one civilian at this point in time, the crew member, is still missing. The ship has been identified as GFS Galaxy, which was struck while passing through the Strait of Hormuz. And now U.S. Central Command has said that it has started a third round of strikes on Iran after accusing IRGC of blatantly attacking a container ship there in the key waterway, that is the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. has also said that Iran has violated the terms of the peace deal. So that is the latest as far as the escalation in new strikes and fresh escalation in West Asia is concerned. And with that, we have a breaking update coming in as far as Iran is concerned, because tensions are rising across Gulf as Iran launches missile and drone attacks targeting UAE, Bahrain, Oman and Qatar. Let's tell you about Oman first. We are learning in the latest that Iran has said that it has attacked a fuel and logistics facility at one port in Oman. Iran has claimed that the port is being used to support U.S. aircraft carriers. Iranian state media has been reporting that this is the third phase of Iran's response to recent U.S. strikes. However, these claims have not been independently verified, and there has been no official statement from U.S. or Oman on this. Let's also tell you about other countries, the Gulf countries which have been attacked. Qatar's Ministry of Interior has said that country's security threat level is high and urged everyone to remain inside their homes and take safe shelter as well. As far as UAE is concerned, they are engaging with missiles and drones from Iran. It stated that air defense systems, in fact, just earlier today, they were actively engaging with the incoming missiles and drone attacks from Iran. Sirens were also blaring in Bahrain. In fact, just a while back, we heard that second round of such attacks have started in Bahrain, and Bahrain's Ministry of Interior has said that air raid sirens have been activated as well. And with that, we have another big update coming in from West Asia as far as the war is concerned. Iran has once again stepped up the war of words with the United States. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Ghalibaf has issued a fresh warning to U.S. on social media, saying that the era of one-sided deals is now over. In a post on social media, he told the U.S. to keep the promises or pay the price, adding that reality is now knocking. His remarks come as tensions between Iran and U.S., as we've been telling you over the past few days, has been rising over the Strait of Hormuz and the recent military strikes as well. So, in a statement on social media, Iranian Parliament Speaker has issued a fresh warning to the United States, saying that the era of one-sided deals is now over. Let me get you more perspective on this and go across to our consulting editor, Srinjoy Chaudhary. Good morning, Srinjoy. Now, on one hand, Trump is saying that the deal is over. Iran is saying that the Strait of Hormuz is now closed. Tell us what is happening there as far as West Asia is concerned. We are also learning about multiple attacks on the Gulf countries there. Give us more details.
The next thing to worry about is a possible American blockade of Iranian ports. If that happens, we are back to square one. Because even if there are imposition of sanctions, the Iranians could easily sell lots of its oil, and it was once selling 90% of its oil to China. Now, if there is a blockade, that would be an issue. And that has to be seen whether that happens or not. Besides that, it's a question of who fired the first shot and why. Because the Americans will say the Iranians fired the first shot, the Iranians will say exactly the opposite. Also, we have to see whether the events in Lebanon are playing a part, because Iran continues to believe that the Hezbollah is an ally, a friend, and therefore you will have a potential for trouble. Now, this is going to get worse. Let's hope it doesn't, but it has a potential of getting worse. And if it doesn't just affect the Gulf countries, it doesn't just affect Iran and America or the region, it affects the world. Because think of how bad things can get. America has struck military positions so far. What if it strikes infrastructure in Iran? If infrastructure in Iran is struck, Iran still has enough missiles, enough drones to hit infrastructure in the Gulf. So what if the oil wells are struck in the Gulf countries? What if refineries are struck? What if desalination plants are struck? This is a very difficult situation. Now, let's hope that this round is the last round. And then at least the people who are sitting in wherever they are and talking can actually go ahead and talk and find a solution. The interesting question to ask at this point is what happened to all the Pakistani leaders
Absolutely.
who were claiming great victories because they had brought the war to an end? What happened to them? Where are they? What
Absolutely,
are they
and
saying?
Pakistan is awfully quiet after the recent round of escalation that we have seen. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. I'll come back to you once again. Let's tell our viewers about another round of escalation along Iran's southern coast, because in the last few hours, we are witnessing explosions there in several cities across at least 3 provinces. So let me take you through them one by one. Firstly, here on the screen, as you can see, Bushehr. Now, this is quite important because this has the nuclear power plant. So, at this point in time, we're learning that there has been no damage to the nuclear facility and no damage at all as far as Bushehr is concerned. But this morning, in fact, there has been an attack on Bushehr. Now, let's tell you about Bandar Abbas, Sirik and Jusk. Now, these areas are quite important, and these are in the southern part of Iran. They are quite close to the Strait of Hormuz, and these areas in the latest have also been attacked. In fact, these are the areas in a southern part of Iran and also to the west side in Bushehr that have been attacked in the last few hours is what we're learning so far. But there has been a retaliation. We have seen this pattern because every time that US bombs Iran, it retaliates and attacks the Gulf countries. So in the latest, we're learning that Qatar, UAE and Bahrain, they have come under attack. Just earlier today, just 2-3 hours back, sirens were sounded here. Their defense systems were activated as well. So there has been a retaliation as well. So let me once again take you through what has happened in the last few hours. US has bombed south part of Iran. In retaliation, Iran has attacked the Gulf countries, and it has also mentioned that the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway and the point of contention between the 2 countries, that has also been closed as well. So that is the latest we're learning as far as attack and the counter-attack is also concerned. With that, we have another breaking update coming in as far as tensions between Iran and West US. There is concern as Iranian state-linked newspaper has published a list called Revenge is Certain, naming several Israeli, American and European leaders, including US President Donald Trump, Israeli Prime Minister, and it also goes on to mention other European leaders as well. This publication comes as Iran's new supreme leader warns that those behind the killing of Ali Khamenei will face justice. Now, tensions are escalating after Iranian state publication has released a list titled Revenge is Certain, naming Israeli, American and European leaders and also naming Donald Trump. Now, this is quite important because remember, in the last few days, Donald Trump has been saying that he is the #1 target of Iran. And now in the latest, we're learning that there is a publication in Iran that has put out a Revenge is Certain. So basically a hit list that names the US President, Israeli Prime Minister, and also some European leaders as well. Let me once again go back to Srinjoy on this. Srinjoy, this is very important because just day before yesterday, Donald Trump mentioned that he is on the #1 list as far as hit list of Iran. And now we're learning about this hit list that has been put out by this Iranian publication called Revenge is Certain, naming him and also Israeli leaders and European leaders. Give us more details about what has been printed in this newspaper.
Donald Trump has said very clearly that if there is an attempt on him and if he is shot or whatever, then 1,000 missiles or more than 1,000 missiles, explosives will rain on Iran. So if there is an attempt, then he has made it very clear what will happen. The same would apply to the Israelis. And again, the Israelis are making it very clear that, well, there has not been any attempt so far. And there was a time when Prime Minister Netanyahu was not seen in public. And right after that came that moment when he was in a coffee shop. So all this is often part of the game vis-a-vis information warfare. But at this point, we have to see not what people are saying, but what people are doing. And right now, you have seen the American attacks, you have seen the Iranian attacks, the replies. Now we have to see if this was just one spell of fighting,
all right,
or if there's going to be more of this. Because the potential of danger of this actually escalating is there.
Absolutely, because at this point in time, Iran has said that they have once again blocked the Strait of Hormuz. So it remains to be seen whether U.S. now will impose a naval blockade or not. Thank you so much, Srinjoy, for putting that into perspective and getting us all those details. And with that, we have another breaking update coming in. Iran's army has once again urged the United States to comply with June 16th MOU. In fact, a Brigadier General there has accused U.S. of creating an illegal route through the Strait of Hormuz, claiming that it has fueled insecurity in the region. So that is the reason that Iran has cited as far as their new attack, fresh attacks on the commercial vessels there is concerned. He has said that Iran's armed forces would firmly defend the country's right, and also added that military is continuously updating the list of the potential targets as well. So on one hand, Hormuz is burning. Let's tell you about how it will impact India as well, because this really concerns India. Concern number one is that security of crude and LNG imports. That is, in fact, one of the concern, higher global crude oil prices, and also pressure on the rupee and import bill as well. This does not concern Iran, US or the Gulf countries. It has effect on India as well. So possible fuel rise once again that we can witness, and transport costs as well. And also safety of Indian citizens. 9 million citizens live there in that area, and Indians in Gulf, they are also under threat. Threat to shipping that is connected to Indian ports. So that is a big worry as far as India is concerned. It remains to be seen what the government has to say on this. And with this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.